What is up, everyone? Welcome to another edition of Live Locks presented by Scores and Odds. If you haven't checked that out already, just making bad life choices, going over Scores and Odds and get signed up where you got picks from me, Meansy, Dina, all the greats. Plus, you get access to this nice little prop shopping tool where you can see exactly what we have projected for each individual player. Plus, where the best odds are, and most importantly, you get access to Grant's Action Lounge. What is Grant's Action Lounge? Well, it is my Discord where I'm throwing in every single bet as I bet them so you can get the best odds before the line moves. We've been crushing it so far this month, although the last 2 days have been a little bit rough. Lost some money, but still up 8.5 G's, like 17% ROI. So still making some decent money. We got a lot of baseball bets today. No football because football's not starting for a little bit. Got 2 days till Thursday and haven't dug into it too much. But again, you want access to Grant's Action Lounge, just go to scoresandodds.com/Discord. Throwing it in the chat there. Let's just get right into it. First off, starting with Adam Wainwright, over 3.5 strikeouts. Wainwright, not a huge strikeout guy. He struggled a little bit recently. Hit the under in this in the last three out. But before that, 7 of the last 8 prior to those 3 games. He hit the over, so that means what? 7 of the last 11 he's hit. Tougher matchup going up against the Padres, but Wainwright, not really a big walk guy, has pretty solid overall control. So going up against a high walk Padres team isn't going to be that big of a deal. Getting plus odds on this one, I would bet it all the way down to minus 110. So getting plus 110 over at Bet Rivers or Barstool, same exact odds, is a great bet. Patrick Corbin, over 3.5 strikeouts. Now, I know Corbin is kind of hot garbage. I get that, but he's due for some positive regression. He's been due for positive regression all season long, but he may still get blown up here. Probably going to get blown up here, but 3.5, too low of a strikeout line for him going up against the Braves. Braves still are going to keep a few lefties in there. Decently high strikeout team, projected lineup 22.1% K rate. Corbin, higher strikeout rate going up against righties slightly than lefties. Still going to give up a boatload of hard contact. Probably going to give up 1, 2, possibly 3 home runs. But the strikeouts should end up coming there. You can get that line over at Bet Rivers, minus 114, or Barstool. Like I said, same thing. Dylan Bundy, over 2.5 strikeouts. Now, I know Bundy has a decently short leash, but he's going up against the Royals. Royals, not really a great team. Young, have some potential, but overall, a higher strikeout rate team outside of Pasquantino and Nicky Lopez, which Lopez will be at the bottom of the lineup. Everyone is a well above average strikeout bat. Bundy, not good versus lefties, which isn't going to help him in this spot, likely going up against 5, but still 2.5, low line. He'll probably get 70 pitches like he normally does, but 2.5, solid overall line. Probably going to give up 1 to 2 home runs, but we don't really care about that. Greinke over on the other side, over 2.5 strikeouts. You can get that line at minus 149. I know it's a big number over at Bet Rivers, over at Barstool. Greinke, not a high strikeout pitcher, but look at this lineup here. I mean, there's Arias up at the top, and then a whole bunch of hot garbage, especially down there at the bottom. Just not a very good lineup. I mean, they have got a lot of guys that are injured, and the guys that aren't injured are the high strikeout bats. Cave, Sanchez, Contreras, Gordon, even Correa, Miranda, and Ursula are not terribly high strikeout bats. Plus, they don't know how to work the count at all. Horrible walk rate, 6.1% in the projected lineup. Greinke, not a guy that walks too many guys, throws a lot of strikes, so I'm hitting the over there. JP Sears, over 2.5 strikeouts, another high juiced line, minus 159 over at Bet Rivers, over at Barstool. But he's hit this at a very consistent clip. I'll grab it here, look it up. He's hit it a ton recently. JP Sears, game log, boom. Got that over here. 3 strikeouts, 2 strikeouts, 5, 3, 3, 2, 3, 1, 5. He's been hitting in a very consistent clip, and a lot of these were, whereas pitch count was low, should be in the 80s in this spot here. Not a terribly high strikeout pitcher, but pretty efficient. Going up against a lineup that doesn't strike out a ton versus lefties, but I'm not sure about the sample size here. They should be a bit higher than this in the projected lineup. So 20.6% projected K rate. Have Rodriguez, have Casali, have Moore, have Haggerty, all decent strikeout bats. Sears hitting the over here. Yeah. Next up, Michael Grove, this game's starting in a little bit less than an hour, or almost exactly an hour, actually. Michael Grove over 3.5 strikeouts, and I have him over 14.5 outs. Michael Grove hasn't been great so far in the majors, but his pitch count should be in the 80s here. Overall, his strikeout rate sitting at 16.7%, but 26% in the minors, 26% double AAA, 32% in AA, decent 26% K rate in AA last season. So the guy's pretty solid. Should get up to 80 pitches. Is pretty efficient. So Grove, even though these numbers are not good, he's much better than that going up against a Cardinals team that has been hotter recently, but still he should be able to do some work going up against him. Pitch mix, I know he's a fastball, slider, curveball guy, so he should be pretty splits neutral. So the numbers versus lefties are not nearly as bad as they have shown. Like both those over 117 at Bet Rivers for the 3.5 strikeouts, 127 at Caesars for the outs. Kyle Gibson over 3.5 strikeouts, minus 149 over at Caesars. Again, if you don't like these odds, parlay some of the bets together. Just make sure you're parlaying the bets at the specific site and getting the best odds over there. But Gibson, better strikeout pitcher going up against righties by a decent amount, and he's going to go up against, granted, a lot of good righties, but a decent amount of high strikeout righties. Bichette, Chapman, close to 30%. Teoscar, close to 30%. So he's going to get a lot of righties here. Above average strikeout pitcher going up against righties, going to face 7, maybe 8 of them in the spot here. Was always more of a reverse splits guy, but this year seems to be pretty splits neutral, if not pretty normal splits. Pablo Lopez, like the over on strikeouts, 6.5, minus 123 at Caesars, and outs, 17.5, minus 127 over at Caesars. Fantastic lines. These are two of my favorite bets on the day. Lopez going up against the Cubs, not a good lineup here. Just huge strikeouts, 28.2%. ISO sitting at 150, Woba under 300. Do walk a decent amount, but he's not terribly high walk guy outside of versus lefties, which he'll go against Rivas. Walks a decent amount. McKinstry doesn't walk a ton. Happ walks it a little bit. So not a ton of lefties here. Big reverse splits guy, massive K rate going up against righties, and he's going to have Hermosillo, Velasquez, Higgins, Reyes, Wisdom, all those guys, and Morel, all those guys, all those massive strikeout guys in the lineup, hammering both those lines. Sampson on the other side over 16.5 outs, minus 105 over at DraftKings. Sampson, solid enough pitcher. Got 6 innings in each of the last 2. Going up against a bad Miami team, he should be able to cruise a bit. Good matchup. I like the over there. Clevenger over 16.5 outs. Hasn't been doing great recently, but the guy has good enough stuff where I'm willing to roll with it. Going up against a pretty right-handed dominant team, and he's been much better going up against righties than he has versus lefties. I mean, yes, I'll have to worry about Newbart, Donovan, Dickerson, Carlson, but most of the bats you have to worry about are lefties. So Clevenger should be able to cruise. Not a terribly high walk rate lineup. I'm rolling with the over. Freeland under 4.5 strikeouts going up against the Giants in Colorado. Perfect spot to take the under on strikeouts. Freeland strikes out lefties a bit more than righties. This is not a terribly high strikeout lineup outside of VR and Davis. Both those guys, tons of potential. Same with Bart, all 3 of those guys. But this is in Colorado. They're going to platoon out nearly every single bat in the lineup, hitting it. Do you have any pitcher props on Castillo today? I have a stack in the A's because everyone is playing him. I wouldn't play the A's. I know you do some interesting, some off the board stuff, EJ, but I'm not going it. Luis Ortiz, not a huge sample size of him in the majors. Did pretty decent in his first start, but now he gets a tough start going up against the Yankees here. Yankees lineup, while the bottom half is not very good, and still an above average strikeout lineup. Not a huge strikeout guy. I'll pull up his Fangraphs page. Had 5 strikeouts in the first one, but that was against a bad Cincinnati team. Fangraphs, minor league numbers. He was an above average strikeout rate pitcher at 28%, but this is a tough spot here. Don't expect him to go too long. Decent chance he gets blown up. those are the bets. Those are what we got. We'll be back again tomorrow. Give us more baseball. Give us some more football. Good luck tonight, guys. We're out of here. Later, kids.